that title. I can't take that one. But I don't think Crenshaw got a mayor, but somebody that care about the area and want to see it make progress with us as we make our progress. Definitely. Thank y'all. I'm super excited too for the moment to be here where it's a music moment and everybody's excited about the music, me included, you know, but like you said, it was a lot of clearing the way for this. So we both very excited. You know, that was one of the that was actually the exercise. Just what you just asked. How do you calm yourself down? And I think the benefit of me being in the game for some years and dropping music, the first time I dropped a project, I got feedback from it. I got to see the lifespan of a project. I got to see how what it's like to drop it. People care about it, consume it, tour off of it, get the feedback, and then it goes and becomes an old thing. And you got to go back in and do it again. I done that a few times to where I got to see what was really important. Like it might be a it producer or a it hook singer at the moment, and you do a song with them, and then the project goes on a cycle, and then it's no longer new and it's not exciting, and then 3 songs off of that project still count. And it's not the ones with the big producer or the important. After the general excitement is dead, it's a different the records that you might not have been conscious of what you put into them when you made them, but after you do 10 projects or 9 projects, you start looking at which ones lasted, which ones work at the show, and you see your lane. So for me, I saw my lane, like, this why they connect to me. This why they fucking with me right here. And I wanted my album to be a collection of those records. It's something that you can do in a record that puts it above expiration. You know what I'm saying? And then you can have records that's dope but they have an expiration date, and then it's something that can happen in the production of a song that removes the material that makes it spoil or make it go bad or makes it become have a shelf life. And I don't think that's like a surface level thing you're gonna observe, but you'll realize the mixture of what went into those songs after you do enough of them and make enough music and create enough. You start to see like, oh, it's really, from my experience, it's the intention. It's like you lose it immediately if you go into a creative space with the business intention. You lost it. You can still succeed with the business intention and make a product that succeeds, but the art value's gone immediately. And it's like to check your intentions going into the album and bring what you learned from all your other shit to it and say as challenging as it's gonna be and as much as I'm gonna be tempted and pressured to create under these pressures of like a radio hit or making it a song that millions of people can consume and relate to, I ain't want to have them intentions because I learned from my last shit. I've tried that, and it's always visible. It's always present in the music. You can't not hear it when you listen to somebody's shit. You can hear their intentions. You can hear what they trying to do. So if you come to it with like the intention of I want to tell the truth, I want to inspire people, I want to entertain, and I want to like raise my aesthetic and my effectiveness in just expressing what I'm trying to get off, the records come out different in my experience. Yeah, I think it's like a baby. You're not aware of what could go wrong. So you just jump off the bed, you walk down the steps, you could kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? You play with your hands in the corner of the door. You know what I'm saying? You don't trip because you're not even aware. And then you get educated on what could go wrong. And now you start, it restrain your expression. You know what I'm saying? You don't just be free with it. You know what I mean? So I think that's the part of like a learning curve is that it's a benefit of not knowing. You just raw. Whatever you are, you bring it to your art. And then you start learning shit and you gotta figure out how to keep the rawness in it. From learning all these ways to be more effective, you gotta learn how to not let the raw material get filtered out. And then from all these rules, you realize that's only one rule. That's why they say you learn the rules so you know how to break them. Because, you know, you realize what's really important. And it's a golden rule. And if you don't break the golden rule, all the other shit people will forgive and accept long as you don't break the golden rule in the art, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, tell the truth. You know what I mean? Draw from your experience. Tell the truth. Yeah, definitely. From the jump, I've been working with 1500 to nothing. And so all my music my branches, they come from the tree of 1500. So all my producers, songwriters, musicians, I met through Rance, Mars, James, Brody. You know, even my engineer G. Everybody came from the 1500 production group or movement. So I met a production duo named Mike and Keys through 1500, and we did Crenshaw. A lot of the records on Crenshaw, they produced with 1500, and then we did. You know, we had Check Me Out, which ended up being a big record for me in terms of touring and just my fan base. It got a little bit of mix show love without us really aiming at it. It was just a dope record that ended up working semi. So I'm like, this sound is where I made a lot of progress. So I want to stay here with the album. Well, I'm a rapper. So I've been up there where you get a band and, you know, it turns into the Playboy Jazz Festival. You know what I'm saying? And nothing against that. It's just the songs sound different. I mean, normally, traditionally, I just go off of like, and this how I describe my shit to producers, because producers will get offended if they play you 15 beats and you don't pick one. They get to thinking that they beat is whack or you don't like it, or you got to be clear. I had to learn how to articulate that. You know, artists, we listening to the song that we hear words on. So you might hear 10 beats and you don't hear words on these yet. That don't mean the beat ain't tight. That don't mean that you ain't gonna rap on it next week. You just don't hear words right now. And the studio costs money, and we want to go the path of least resistance. So the one that's speaking to me today is the one we gonna rap on. That's based on how you feel, what you woke up on, what you listen to. It's a lot of factors that, you know, dictate what record you or what production you're gonna write a song to today. So I go off of like what's talking to me. Whatever combo I'm having with myself, what music supported. When I hear the record, I'm like, exactly. I don't gotta think to write a song to this. I could just go in the booth and talk right now because I'm feeling the way that this music feels. Marsha from Floyd, she's incredible on the album. She blessed me. Stacey Barth is on the title track. She like that's the first thing you're gonna hear is her vocals on the album. Before you hear my voice, you're gonna hear Stacey Barth's vocal. You know, that record was, if I play you the original, you'll be like, damn. It was like a boom bap, um, like a MPC sounding beat, like some drums and a sample. And then I wrote a song to it and I recorded the 3 verses and it didn't have a hook. The sample was like the hook. And then we brought this keyboard player named Amir. He's dope. He played with Big Sean. He produced on Big Sean last 2 albums. He part of Big Sean band. He just a dope young keyboard player. We brought him in, and he just went crazy. He opened up the Pro Tools, rearranged the beat, chopped it, and just added musical parts all through the song. And then we brought Stacy in, and she heard that, and then she sung on top of it, and the record sounded completely different, like way theatric, way just multi-dimensional musically, and that when we did that record, I was like, this is what I want the foundation of the sound to be. I want it to be hard, like street bottom, like bass and drum, and I want it to be next level music on the top frequency, and I want my vocal to sit in the middle. You know what I'm saying? You don't like calling shit classic early and that the words timeless. I feel the same. I don't like throwing them words around. But when you think about the production that's popular right now, and when you make a project right now that doesn't necessarily sound like the production that's popular, I think that lends toward the music being received as outside of time, because the time it sounds different than what this album does. So it doesn't sound like traditional production of 2017, 2018, but like you said, it's still current. It speaks to the moment in a different way. And I think when I look at like I study music and I study artists and careers, and when you look at these albums that sold 10 million, like Tracy Chapman or like Adele or like, you know, even Nelly or Eminem's second album or any of them, and just even outside of hip hop, the production 90% of the time is not trendy. It's not seasonal. It's rooted in music. It's rooted in like chords and in instruments and in like traditional greatness of music. Even like Bruno Mars and to the level that they succeed. You know, if you really break down the production, Brody back there. You know what I'm saying? Playing chords. You know what I mean? And it's being presented as a top tier pop product, but it's music. You know what I mean? So I think that was one of the intentions too in the production, was to use instruments, use real music, and build it as a music statement that's not necessarily influenced by the sound of right now. But that's tricky because you don't want to be overly nostalgic. You don't want to be like a legacy sounding like I'm trying to preserve an era. Right. So the challenge was to make it, and my opinion on how we did it was the drums. Yeah. Like with the real innovation and step forward that production took is the drums, the trap influence on the percussion, the snares and the triple hi-hats, and instead of, you know what I'm saying, that's old. When you hear that rhythm on a record, you automatically date it. You know, but when you hear the rhythm is updated, you could do whatever with the music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, any of them songs I heard words. So as much whatever I thought people was gonna say, I'm like, this verse is tight. The beat might be different than what they normally hear me on, but I'm about to perform because I hear words. I'm about to deliver a dope message or a dope verse, or you know what I'm saying. So I always felt like, if anything, it'll make you curious. Like, what he about to say on this, and then if I deliver, it'll bring you through your resistance to the production. You know what I mean? But that ended up being one of my favorite. Like when I go through my catalog, I listen to Call from the Bank. I listen to the MGMT flip. I listen to, like, you know, the musical flexes. You know what I mean? To me, that's what is like excites me when I go back and I listen to Who Detached Us off TMC, or I listen to, like you said, Call from the Bank off the Marathon, and it's like a classic rock beat on the Who Detached Us record, and it's a Steve Jobs verse or sample. It's like the song says featuring Steve Jobs. You know what I'm saying? So them as an artist, I look back and be like, yeah, that was a fearless attempt. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? I like, even if the execution wasn't all the way where it needed to be, just like, I got a record called Payback off Bullets Ain't Got No Name Volume 3. And I think those moments is like set me aside. So you like, I would never be guilty of being a, like, I don't want to say the wrong word, but like, yeah, or like exercising a sellable cliche. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know this work, and I'm gonna stay right here. I would never want to be guilty of that. Yeah. So I always do that just on record. That, you know, as soon as you might have thought you got a word to put me as, this is what this music is. Well, you can't, because he made a record like Payback. You can't say it's gangster rap. Yeah. You can't if you listen to Payback. You can't say it's conscious rap if you listen to Hustle in the House. You feel what I'm saying? But I got records like Been Here for a While that's equally honest as Hustle in the House. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like challenging, like, the people that import opinions. Yeah. That import accepted opinions instead of like really challenging themselves to feel a way about some shit. They just be like, oh, he said a keyword, that's gangster rap. Oh, he said positive message, that's conscious rap. Or he said this, that, you know what I mean? So I think that's probably why I try to do that. And I'm inspired by other music than rap, you know? Man, you know what's crazy? I'm not listening to it right now, but it's a song that I bought from Amoeba like 4-5 years ago. It was a record I heard on the radio. It was a dude named Goat, Goyte. It was a song called Used to Know. You ever heard that record? Oh, Gautier. Gautier. Yeah, that shit crazy to me. Like, just the songwriting on that, you know, so I'm more like, I don't got genres. I just got like dope songs I like, or dope, like Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, probably one of my favorite written songs in history. No, for real. What? Yeah. You gotta hear the words, you know what I'm saying? And like what he's saying and the way that it leads into the hook. That's like, people ain't wrote on that level. A lot of people have not wrote songs on that level. You know, what I'm realizing too is that people choose you for your opinion in terms of like fans. They don't choose you for any other reason than they think you got a unique perspective. And they count on you to be honest about expressing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that to know that give you power as an artist, because you just always got to be clear on what your opinion is and what your reality is, and you know where to go. In terms, instead of trying to anticipate where the fans are and trying to aim what you doing at where they about to be, you just know where you at, and you know they bought into your opinion. And so, like, for me, that's the reality of who I am. I'm influenced by things that happened in my life that was like, that God, I had to be God. You know what I'm saying? It's no way else. So I can't feel ashamed of that. I can't like leave that off the music or leave that out the story, because then it's not as honest as it could be. You know, and then I gotta check myself on why I'm not speaking on it, why I don't include the real thought. Not to say I would say it if I didn't really have them thoughts, because people like spiritual shit or feel like this is positive. No, that's them is thoughts I really had. I'm a Leo, I'm a fire sign, but then even I spoke to that. I said, "Feel the fire, it's a different flame." That was one of the lyrics on the album, and you know, I think like all of this is accumulation of what I learned. Honestly, I didn't have no opinion until I started working with music and trying shit. And what I like, music is spiritual. Anybody that fuck with music long enough, you know, if you don't cloud yourself and you don't like miss it, you're gonna realize it's spiritual. You can miss it though. You know what I mean? But if you in tune and you present enough, you're gonna be like, it's vibrations, it's the word. If you even read the Bible, in the beginning, it was the word. That's the first thing that the Bible say. You know what I mean? So the power of the word is intense, it's real. So to try to make music and separate it from a spiritual thing, I don't think it's possible. I don't even think that, you know, the actual act of music. Think about this. You going somewhere mentally and you bringing something back that people that aren't where you just went can hear in the place that you both are. Like, you go somewhere when you go pull a lyric down. Where is it at? Where does it exist? You know what I'm saying? And then you say it with your voice, and now everybody can hear it. So that's, what is that? But it was a truth that existed in everybody's space. You just went and like brought it down to the level that we communicate on. You know what I'm saying? So that's spiritual. Even producers make music. Where does the music exist at? They hear A, B, C. Where does that, until they play it, they bringing it down to our level of experience, but it exists already because they heard it. So to think it's not spiritual, I think is being like, you're not thinking about it long enough. You know what I'm saying? You just, you go into the next thought so quick that you don't get a chance to really sit here and evaluate what you're doing. As a human, I'm competitive as, you know, rap is competitive like an athlete. You know what I mean? You don't want to be number two by design. You ain't gonna cry if you don't win the championship. You're gonna go harder in the gym. But what I know about life is that you're gonna hurt yourself. You know, life is, especially as a creative, creativity and competition is opposites. You know what I'm saying? And they work against each other creatively. When you had to draw from a blank canvas, you gotta draw from your pool of experiences for it to have that thing in it. And you can compete and make something that's like technically good, but it's like a cloned human being. They might have two legs, but it's not the same as a baby that was born from a mama and daddy and it was some love made, and that's a different formula. So I think that to create is like a natural labor, and then to copy or to like compare or compete creatively, you confuse yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you miss all the dope shit that only you can do. It's shit only Nip can say certain lines. It's a song that only I can write because it's only true to me. Now it's true to everybody in the world if it's true, because we all got the same general truths, but the specifics of it, them is the songs I need to write. And those is where I'm gonna really succeed. And I think I heard Ross say some real shit. He's like, man, I want every penny that's mine. I don't want a penny more or a penny less. And that's a good way to look at it. You know, I don't want any shine, success that ain't mine. You know what I'm saying? I just want all of mine. So I think that's gonna put you in the mindset of, you know, filtering yourself and challenging yourself. And honestly, You know, I don't think we get extra credit for that. That's what we supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if we like rap, if we like we a part of this shit. We can't. I don't think that's cool to be so blinded by being competitive that you can't like this shit tight, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a dope record, and we are inspired by rap music. We even if somebody the same age as you, younger than you, that's weirdo shit to me that you can't acknowledge like you made a dope record, bro. This shit is tight, and I ain't. Whatever the reasons why I wouldn't say that, I don't believe in them reasons. Nah, the energy of that song, I wanted the visual to represent the energy of it. And the energy is just really aggressive, it's high energy, it's confident, it's like a boast almost. And also I look at that more than a single, it's like, you know, I think in branding, it's about distinguishing qualities. It's not about what you got in common. You know what I mean? Like if you look at any brand or company's tagline, they line expresses their unique qualities, the distinguishing qualities. The world's only this, the world's number one this, the world's first, the distinguishing quality. So as an artist and a rapper, rap niggas is my distinguishing quality that I do own all the rights to all my raps. You know what I'm saying? I am a anomaly in my space. To me, if you know the details, you know and the way I exist is unique. And so I think that the most effective branding will be the first record off the album. I'm shouting out what's different about me. You know what I'm saying? And I want the visual to represent that too. I just want the project to be heard on the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Of course, big numbers mean you get a big check, but I just want. This is why I went into the partnership, and this is why I held out for so long. I wanted to be able to make an artistic statement on the highest level. And I love doing interviews about music. So thank y'all for being like in tune and asking like dope questions about music. You know what I'm saying?